Okay, in my last video, I kind of just showed how easy it was to install. And in this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about the modules because I think that's really where the power is in this framework. You get the real bare bones, everything that maybe every kind of framework needs. It may or may not match what you need, but it makes it real easy to at least install this and get some bare bones things in there, such as a menu bar for the back end. How do we get to those different module screens? Settings, again, it kind of mirrors what the config files do, but allows you to do that in the database, and it merges those together as needed. And then finally, again, users. So we have users, roles, access, and finally the modules. Now again, this one is a little is kind of my real install that I use when I'm developing it. This actually is kind of what it packages up to put in that other little install file. But this actually, as you can see, includes a lot of modules that I've been kind of messing around with and whatnot. So in this example, you'll notice that we really don't have any other modules here installed. So we'll go ahead and actually install one. Let's see what we'll grab here. The example one's usually pretty good. So here's the example module we want to install. It's telling us that currently it's version 1.5. Hit install. And that'll run through an install script and maybe install some settings, maybe install a menu, maybe install some access. So let's take a quick look at that. In this case, example installed a setting in here. So again, it's just a demo setting. So it'd be very easy for someone to say, "Oh, I don't want that to be 123. I want it to be, maybe my first letter of my first name and last name there." So we can do that. Makes it real easy to change those. And then throughout the framework, just by accessing and asking for this particular setting in this particular grouping, much like a file in CodeIgniter, what is that value? And just by coming into the back end, you can certainly change that real easy. Another thing you'll notice that is actually included a menu, so it actually inserted a menu in here dynamically. Like I said, we actually install some of these by default, so that way, as modules are being created, they can, you know, put stuff under certain menus wherever they feel that needs to be. You could certainly change that if for some reason you didn't like where it put it. Maybe this should be a root level menu or whatever. You can certainly change that. So it inserted this automatically. It actually set the access level that it inserted automatically to what the access is on this, and of course you can change that as well. If we jump down here into access, you can see again, here's where it inserted it, and here's what it said, full access. So if we were to create a role, again, because this is inclusive, we would check off that this person or this role could see or would have this permission. So let's go take a look at that. It just kind of gives you an example of some of the things that, what the default table sort of looks like. So normally with the default table, I'll put a large, hey, whatever this table's about, maybe some smaller text to say, hey, manage users. You can have regular buttons up here, drop down buttons, maybe if you have a few actions up there, buttons with icons and so on and so forth. Another nice feature is that when you roll my tables, you'll notice it has a little sticky top here, so it makes it real nice to kind of stick right on there. And finally, when they do get down to the bottom here, they can jump up to the top relatively quickly. Again, all built into the framework, into the theme. Some easy way to show some font awesome icons here for maybe activate instead of saying true or false. We show a little icon. And then even here for edit and delete. So you can edit and delete. Now, one nice thing is when you try to delete a record, or anytime I try to delete stuff, we do provide some ways to kind of stop you from just hitting delete and it's gone. Hey, yeah, I want to delete it, or no, I don't. Same type of thing now here with edit. So here's edit. Again, just a sample of some of the form elements that are included with the theme. Required fields, normally I would put a required text up here, and it's a text field, so no big deal there. Here's a drop down, no big deal there, but it kind of matches nicely. Text area, check boxes, inline check boxes, inline radio. This is more of like a combo box, so you can certainly pick something that's in here, or it'll even do an autocomplete for you. Or if for some reason what you want isn't in there, you can certainly add that. So it's kind of nice as a combo box, right? So now we can a little slider, more and more popular on a lot of the websites. Slider with some starting and ending text. Real nice bootstrap date and time picker. So here's our date, here's our time, whatever. Same thing here, but now it's just time, 11 a.m. or maybe 11 p.m., right? Here's actually I call a portal. So this actually can be a list of things, and this will scroll if this list gets real long. So it makes it nice if you have a big list of things that you want to, maybe check off. Date again. So here's a date. Color picker. Again, more and more popular. People are picking color pickers or adding color pickers. Here's actually a color that's already on there. It just shows that it's a block. Maybe it's not editable. We just want to show them the color. And again, there's no reason why you couldn't put it on here and maybe even hide this if you didn't want someone to see that, or maybe they had no clue even what that was. File one's real nice, so now you can add files directly to this. Hit attach. It'll allow you to attach files directly to the element when you submit it. And then finally, here in the footer is usually where you can put a number of buttons. Normally, I have a save and a cancel or something like that, and is where I put the hey, this is required. Now this one won't particularly validate, but normally what would happen is if you validated, it would show an error up here. So we'll actually show you that real quick. Hit add user. These are all required. I won't fill any of them in, but right away you can see that it says, hey, those things are required. Okay, so if maybe we fill in the username. Oh, okay, so usernames now fill in, but these are filled in, but now we still need to fill those in. So that gives you a little idea of, kind of what modules do. Like I said, I've been working on a number of different modules, as you can see. The tooltips one is kind of cool. Um, but this, I think, is really where the power of the back end is. You kind of get the bare bones skeleton or the framework, and then you just start creating modules to kind of plug into the back end. The application framework is folder is left completely clean for you to do whatever you want there. And really, when it comes down to it, the only piece that you're sort of getting is the orange application framework. So that makes it real nice to, again, make it really modular and not, kind of bind you to say, okay, these things have to go there, there, there. It allows you just to install whatever module you want. If you want a module to track successful logins or failed logins, or you want a module to even, IP restrictions, lock someone out. Hey, I forgot my password. Forgot password just plugs in as a module. Um, you just plug that in and it does its thing. Send out the email that it needs to send out or whatever. Oh, one other great feature too is that this actually supports upgrades. So you'll notice that actually I installed this, but right now it's saying, hey, there's an upgrade. And what that is that there's an upgrade folder. So if you went into here and you dropped a version that was newer than the version that's there, it goes into a little folder in the back end and it says, hey, I'm looking at it, and it says there's a 1524 available. Do you want to install that? And you can just hit upgrade. It'll run the functions in the module to do the upgrade, and you'll be at that latest version. If for some reason the versions match, it'll show that. And if for some reason you throw a zipped file in there and the version is less than, say, 1.40, it'll actually show that and it won't let you upgrade. So it's kind of nice. Hopefully some people find it useful.